As part of Ferrari Fridays, William Ross from the Exotic Car Marketplace will be discussing all things Ferrari and interviewing people that live and breathe the Ferrari brand. Topics range from road cars to racing, drivers to owners, as well as auctions, private sales, and trends in the collector market.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. And I appreciate everybody listening and all the downloads. We're starting to get a few more going, so which is great. But hey, get out there, share. If you'd like, check out the website, theferrarimarketplace.com. We got a lot of stuff going on. We kind of created this big mega site that's got a lot of information on it, getting more content and more everything Ferrari. So check that out. But anyways, this is your host. I'm William. Again, appreciate you guys coming back. Now, I am doing this podcast today from, it's about 7 a.m. on Hershey, PA. I'm headed to the Hershey event this morning, and I got a little time to kill. It's a bit gloomy here this morning, a bit wet. So hopefully the rain gets out of here because it'll just make for a little bit of a muddy endeavor. It's a little bit chilly out. I did not bring a coat. Luckily, I got some long sleeve shirts, so hopefully this does not go awry and I freeze my little patootie off. So we shall see. But anyways, onward and upward. Today's episode, we're going to get controversial. We are going to talk about the new Ferrari Purosangue, the SUV. Now, I know a lot of people out there, especially the purists, think this is an abomination and there's no way Ferrari should be making an SUV. It just goes against everything Ferrari stands for. But, you know, I guess you got to look at it from both sides here regarding as far as things. You know, they got people they got to answer to, shareholders, whatnot. So and you look at, I mean, look at what Porsche did with the Cayenne. They make obscene amount of money off those Cayennes. I mean, they did the same thing, when they came out with the Panamera, same thing. They have to expand and doing it, but they could not ignore the fact. I mean, Bentley, Lamborghini, all these guys coming out. I mean, it was inevitable that they were going to have to come out with an SUV. So, a few weeks ago, they dropped it. I mean, obviously on the internet, there were tons and tons of, sorry, there goes my pop. Spy photos and this stuff, the car driving around. And it's pretty close to, factory production finish. So I think it's a good looking vehicle. I like it. I mean, because it's not like some big bulking behemoth like that ugly ass Bentley or Rolls Royce. I think those are the ugliest things rolling around. I mean, there probably are some uglier cars, but in my opinion, those things are just horrendous. But I think it's a good looking vehicle, and that's me. And would I buy one? Yeah, if I had the cash to be able to buy one, I think I would. Because functionality wise, you got to look at it from this point of view. Is the fact is you could get a lot more use out of it than you could say driving around in your Monza SP1 or SP2 or even your SF Stradale. I mean, granted, they're trying to make those a little more user friendly, but I mean, those cars get a bit extreme. And trying to drive those and try to utilize them. Hey, going to the store to get groceries, picking up Junior from school and all his stuff that he's got to take with him these days at school. So it would be a little bit of a tight fit, in one of those two-seaters. But you get yourself the four-seater. Now, here's the thing. I haven't had a chance to, I guess, get up close with it yet, so I'm hoping to have that done here soon. I'm not sure quite when, but I'm trying to get something set up. But I'm interested to see, what the back seat legroom is, and just actually overall space in the car. Is it actually going to be something that's functional where you can get four adults in there, and the individuals in the back seat, do have some resemblance of, I guess, comfort and legroom. Because that's the one thing, you get some of these cars out there and vehicles, it's a four-seater. Well, who's going to sit in the back seat? A 6-month-old because their legs don't even fit over the edge of the seat. I mean, come on now. So that's going to be I guess, interesting thing to find out and see what happens here with the design and just the overall, interior space of this car. I mean, exterior-wise, I think, like I said, I think it looks pretty good. They kind of kept it. It's I guess you could say it's not so much like a beefed up station wagon or estate, as you guys would say over on the other side of the pond. It's got that SUV-esque look to it, but it's just not like really big and bulky. I think it looks pretty good. It sounds fantastic. I mean, the beautiful thing they did was they are having the V12 come out right out of the gate. They're just stuffing the V12 in there from uh, the 812, so which is going to make that thing killer fast. So it'll be interesting to see the road test and everything for the magazines will do and what they're going to come about and what they're going to basically what their opinion is going to be of the car. So again, is it the other aspect of, if you look at it, so I'm kind of looking at some more photos of it now, kind of just take a peek. Is it kind of almost looks like it's a tightened up FF, or GT4C Lusso, whatever the frick they're calling it. They keep changing the name on it. But I mean, the front overhang doesn't seem the nose is not as long, the ass is not as bad. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of that GT4 Lusso. It was just not my cup of tea. It sounded glorious, beautiful engine. I'm sure they're phenomenal to drive. Hey, four-wheel drive, so you can drive in the winter. And I'm sure not many people do. But it's, to me, I didn't like it. It was just not something I would spend my $300,000-$400,000 on. I would take that and buy myself a few other vehicles and have like 3 or 4 instead of having just one. But I mean, it is a Ferrari, so it's got the Prancing horse logo. So I mean, you guess you can't go over that now. I wouldn't turn it on. Well, hey, if someone gave it to me, right? As I'm sure you probably wouldn't either. So, but anyways, I think it's a sharp looking vehicle. I mean, it's it's kind of Mazda 3-esque if you kind of really look at it, maybe squint a bit. Hatchback looking thing. So it's I think it's a good looking vehicle. That's just my opinion. And the unique thing is they got the whatever you want to call those doors, the suicide doors for the back. And so your ingress egress is pretty easy. So I mean, that's a nice little design feature, and I think it's kind of cool. Again, I can't wait to see this thing in person, because it does not look like it's all that big. Again, go back to compare to the Lusso, this thing looks like it's 20% smaller, maybe. I don't know, give or take. Forgive me, I'm probably wrong, but I went to public school, so what do I know? But it's, again, I mean, interior wise, it's all pure Ferrari. I love the bucket seats in the back. I'm a big believer. You have an SUV, something like that, is you have those bucket seats with the console between the seats and that. I mean, especially that level of car. I can't imagine why someone would get a bench seated something like that. But so I don't know in the configurator if you can get a bench seat back there. Sure as heck hope not. But it's a good looking car, vehicle, SUV, whatever you want to call this thing. One thing I don't get though what Ferrari's doing, I mean, it's supposed to like engage the passenger, is the screen that they have in front of the passenger now, the digital screen with all the readouts and everything like that going on, and like the rev counter and stuff like that. That I don't get. To me, I'm sorry, to me it just seems pointless. I mean, I don't know, maybe you have a purist that's in this passenger seat next to you. They maybe kind of want to watch it, but I would guess that 95% of the people that you have in that passenger seat won't give two what's about it and having it. So I don't know. But anyways, I think it's good. I mean, I don't. Tell me what you guys think. If you want to shoot me an email, William at the FerrariMarketplace.com. Tell me what your thoughts are on it, and let me know. So, anyways, and this is kind of a quick one. Like I said, I just wanted to get that off my chest regarding the Purosangue and see what everyone else's thoughts are and how this thing's going to compare out there. I mean, I honestly believe that it's going to be a stonkingly fast. I mean, that thing is going to be just scream. It sounds glorious. I mean, that V12, you can't go wrong with that. So, but again, it's going to be interesting to see with the road tests and people get out there and, I know I want to get to see this thing in person, but maybe somehow, somewhere I can finagle a test drive in one, even if it's just as a passenger and see, you never know. And I could come back to you guys and kind of give you a little update and let you know what I think about it driving it. So, I mean, because, that's a tendency you get in those SUVs, you got a lot of, weight up top. So it's got a lot of body roll or something like that. So we just see how they kept the weight down, kind of keep the low center of gravity going on it. And unfortunately, as we all know where everything's headed, things are going to get electrified. So it's just a scary and stupid world we live in. That's another topic we might have to get down the road and discuss about that. I mean, I know it's kind of a touchy subject and people have, on the right and whatnot on that, but it's, I think there's better courses of action here we can go to satisfy purists with engine sound, but then also, satisfy, the environment and do what we have to do. I mean, look what Porsche's doing with the synthetic fuels. I mean, that stuff's fantastic, zero emissions. I just think there's different routes we can go. And, it's kind of like putting the cart in front of the horse here. The situation is, they want to put these mandates and laws in place that, you have to start selling only electric cars by this date. California set it up, UK's got it going on, and over in Europe they're doing a lot of it. But the infrastructure is not there to support it. And it's just going to create a lot of pissed off people because who wants to sit and wait? If you get to a charger and you're in line and it takes 45 minutes for a car to charge up and you're second in line, you're going to be sitting there for hours waiting to get your car charged to be able to get on your way. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But anyways, that's a different topic. So anyways, like I said, this is kind of just a quick little podcast. This is a short one. I said I'm on site here at Hershey and I'm passing some time, so I figured I'd get this one out. I wanted to do it regarding the Purosangue and get kind of my thoughts out there on it. And like I said, let me know what you guys think. I think it's a good-looking vehicle. I like it. I know a lot of people out there just raising their hands saying, oh my God, Ferrari's building an SUV that's the end of the world. Again, hey, it's business. They got to do what they have to do. And they're good, the interesting fact is they're not going like a Porsche or the Lamborghinis that build as many as they can and just sell them. They're only going to build X amount. They're not going to go nuts with it. They're not going to just keep building them to sell them because they just keep selling them. So they're going to limit production. But again, that's how Ferrari operates. They're only going to build X because they get out there in the secondary market. They're 2 to 3 times, sometimes more what their MSRP was, even if they got mileage on it, they've been used. People, the lucky ones that are on the list and that can actually, get one of the new ones right off the gate and order one, they can sit there, get it, drive it for a few thousand miles, turn around and make money and make a lot of money on having it. So it's interesting to see what happens in the secondary market with those and where they're at. Because I know these things are going to be about $300,000-400 grand out of the gate, and that's probably before options, and we know how expensive Ferrari's options list can be. Easily can add 200-300 grand just in options. I don't know if anyone's ever had the opportunity, or when you go on a configurator and kind of do it, that's a scratch and a surface what you can obviously get with these cars. But I mean, I've seen $800 here, $500 here just to wrap the leather around like a little tiny lever or something like that in the car. It gets crazy how much they can just tack on, and something that costs them maybe like $20 to do. I mean, but that's where they're making a boatload of their money is options and accessories. Hey, it's business. That's what they got to do, right? And people buy it, so hey, they're doing something right. So anyways, I'm going to sign off. Again, I really appreciate you guys listening. Spread the word, get it out there. Check out the YouTube channel. Got that going on too. Go to check out Garage 65, kind of all encompassing. We got the Ferrari Marketplace YouTube channel also. It's everything Ferrari, but I got a bunch of other stuff. I got stuff I just shot from last week up in the American Speed Festival. Got some from a couple weeks prior at the Detroit concours, and I'm going to do some video here at Hershey, kind of going around and checking this out. It's my first time here. So, but anyways, I appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate you listening to my ramblings, and let me know what you guys think about the Ferrari SUV. Now, I'm interested to see what opinion is out there, and just see if it's either one way or the other, or if it's kind of right down the middle. So, again, guys, I appreciate you listening, and take care. And until next time, thanks.
This episode has been brought to you by Grand Touring Motorsports as part of our Motoring Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, tune in each week for more exciting and educational content from organizations like the Exotic Car Marketplace, the Motoring Historian, Break Fix, and many others. If you'd like to support Grand Touring Motorsports and the Motoring Podcast Network, sign up for one of our many sponsorship tiers at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. Please note that the content, opinions, and materials presented and expressed in this episode are those of its creator, and this episode has been published with their consent. If you have any inquiries about this program, please contact the creators of this episode via email or social media as mentioned in the episode.